The following is brought to you by the People's National Party.
Make the trumpets play. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. We can tell me how we can do it together. When we look to the future of precipice, we see Jamaica needs the vision of the PNP. People said the bag of promises, them can't carry go shop. And the crime rate getting high, I wonder when it all goes to comrades. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. We can tell me how.
The proceeding was brought to you by the People's National Party.
How are you doing, Sister Pinks?
I'm hanging in there. Hanging in there, my
All right.
brother.
Since we are just starting, just let me just give you the opportunity to meet and greet as usual. You know how we do our things around here. All
Yeah.
right. Okay. Yes. Go ahead, Sister Pinks. Talk to your wonderful comrade sisters and brothers.
Good afternoon to you, Uncle Byron and Lady Mary. Looking forward to, as I assume, will be soon be joining us later. Good
Yes,
afternoon, the comrade leader,
we will.
chairman, chairwoman, Jensec, all 53 candidates of the PNP that contested yesterday, to my brother and fire comrades that voted yesterday, and to everyone still in Northwestern James. We did a good fight and we will pursue. Now, I would like to make a statement to the people of St. James. I'm disappointed in you, very disappointed in you, because you walk past and you see that Convolution Hospital every day. What you voted for is to have the corruption still happening there. What you voted for is no water in your pipe. As I said before on this platform, nomination day, there was a full load of water in my pipe. And from nomination day until this morning, I woke up after, until yesterday morning, I had water. This morning, I woke up a day after election, there is no water in my pipe. And the people in St. James who live in Montego Bay, I am disappointed in you that you voted against these things. You voted against new policies that the PNP are planning to put into power, into place. I'm really disappointed and I'm saddened. But there were not situations at the voting PDs yesterday. I experienced an experience where I'd like to share with you. After I confirmed my PD that I'm supposed to vote at, when I went inside, just as I was approaching the PD, a young man asked me where I'm going, and I explained to him my PD is that number. He checked out some papers he had and told me that my name is not on his list. I went around him and I found my PD on my own. The presiding officer was very nervous and his hands were shaking, his voice was shaking. I voted Then he instructed me to put my finger in the ink, which I did, and he pretended as if he could not remove the counterfoil. And in that instant, in that situation that he faked, he opened the paper, my ballot paper, enough for him to see the vote. Then he used a ruler to remove the counterfoil. After that, he asked me to put my finger in the ink, and he held the ballot still in his hand. I inserted my finger in the ink. Then he still did not put the ballot in the box. That was when I said to him, I'm waiting until you put my ballot in the box. I realized that many persons went through similar situations of the information I gathered. Also, the EOJ workers, the supervisor, what I noticed yesterday, she was pushing a lot of laborers at the front of the line for whatever reason. I also understand that several persons, PNP persons, were paid not to come yesterday to work to make our teams, PNP teams, weaker yesterday. Jamaicans, as we go forward, I will still remain a member of the PNP. Nothing will change my mind because I am voting and I voted for honesty, integrity, transparency, and this is the kind of government I want for my country. And I hope more Jamaicans will join my voice in doing that. So the next election, you vote for policies and principles and morals and a higher standard of living. Because why should I wake up a morning after election without any water in my pipe? I yield the floor, Uncle Byron.
All right. Thank you so much, Kings. But let me say this to um our brothers and sisters, right? That we did not get the record, what we wanted as it relates to the ultimate win, which of course, would send a very strong statement, right? That we are here to, you know, fight against corruption. But my Jamaican people, I want to speak to you. And last night when I retired to my bed and I start to, I would say sort of unload what had happened, I said to myself that, you know what? I am not going to be thinking on the negative because face the fact, Jamaica. Let me speak to you. We are in what we call a battle, right? Fighting for good governance and fighting against corruption. So last night, while we lost the war, we still have a battle to fight. And I said, you know what? First and foremost, what I want to do is to heal up the comrade leader for an excellent performance. And when I said excellent performance, complete excellent performance, and I want Jamaica to remember this, that when Mark Golden take over the party president, the party was somewhat injured with separation and certain turmoil. Judging from then until now, in terms of what Mark Golden had done, in terms of unite the party, and took the party through a local government election, and we see the bounce back from there, but it didn't stop. It didn't stop. The continuous leading up into the poll up until, we decided, right, the general election. My Jamaican people, let me say this to you categorically, that seeing Mark Golding leadership in terms of, a leadership, such leadership to be well applauded. Mark Golding took a party that was lame, a party that was injured, and took the party from 14 seats to now 29 seats. I'm going to tell people what that means. I'm going to speak to you, and that is one of the reasons why it is important, right, for us to continue the fight. 14 to 29. And which reduced the Jamaica Labour Party from 49 to 34. For all those Jamaica Labour Party, right, who are celebrating a win. Yes, a win, but they don't realize what had happened last night or yesterday. I don't think that they are aware. Well, I am here to tell you what is happening now. So all my comrade vloggers, all Manly Heights, all democratic socialists, stand firm, because we are more stronger than before. Have you seen what I have on my thumbnail? Stronger than before. So let me tell you why we are stronger than before. As it relates to Andrew Holness, 49 members of parliament, Andrew Holness have ultimate power. Andrew Holness could, just decide, go to in bed and decide that, okay, I'm going to enforce an SOE using his 49 members to do that. It would be done. Because on the other side, at the next aisle, there was no power to stop him. Nothing to stop him. And so the 14 members were like sitting duck on a minefield relating to the politics. This morning, last night, I am happy that what the People's National Party have now is more than teeth. And I'm going to speak to you, people. I'm going to speak to you. More than teeth. What does this mean? Andrew Holness, constitution reform is out the door. I am not asking him that. I am telling him that. His constitution reform is out the door. This now forces him to have dialogue with the People's National Party 29 members. Because what we have taken away from Andrew Holness and his administration is the most powerful weapon he has in his political arsenal. What we have taken away from him is 2/3 majority in the lower house and in the upper house. Simple means, last night we have deadly wounded the political Dracula. We have wounded him and weakened him so much. He is extremely vulnerable. Let me tell you where I'm going now. So Andrew Holness knows very well that the first place that we are going to attack, we are going to now change the Speaker of the House. Jamaica Labour Party followers who are following and listening to me now, listen to the items that we are going to do. First and foremost, Juliet Holness will not be the Speaker of the House. Juliet. Because no more your 2/3 majority and power as it relates to your 49 Cumberlands and sustain your policy or Andrew Holness policy. We will be crippling that. Now let me tell you where we're going next. We are going to give more protection to the Integrity Commission investigators. So this is what we are going to do. Andrew Holness, as it relates to his Integrity Commission Oversight Committee, we will be changing that, Mr. Andrew Holness. We will adding more power to the Integrity Commission Oversight Committee. Sir, we want you to feel it. We want you to feel us. Not only that, you cannot turn left or turn right in terms of policies that you want to just reach through the lower house because of your 2/3 majority. Get it done. So now you come down to a particular level. So, my comrade brothers and sisters, Andrew Holness' term still continues, and it is getting even more serious. So while Jamaica Labour Party, Jamaica Labour Rights celebrating their win, and many of them celebrating their win not knowing the consequences to come, it is on their predicament. Because what now is going to sit in the parliament, Mr. Andrew Holness, which you know, that we will have 29 members, strong members of the People's National Party, included ISAT Buchanan in Parliament. Jamaica, People's National Party, my comrades, you have nothing to be ashamed of. Every comrade must squeeze them fists and said, yes, no. The next 5 years, we have true fight on our hand. And we are now stronger and more powerful. The People's National Party now will be more properly funded and stronger than before. Let me say this. If the People's National Party can use 14 members of parliament and causing as much trouble to the Jamaica Labour Party, that when Andrew Holness breached the Constitution, Marky G said, come, court. And Marky G was doing that with only 14 members. My Jamaican people, we have 29 members now. So you can't go on like you don't want to talk to Marky G. You can't go on like you want disrespect our grown Marky G. You know how to come off of your high horse and address him. Because he has 29. And so then, what are you going to do? In order for you to pass any law or any bill into law, you need the People's National Party support. Amen, somebody? That's why I run out this morning, you know. And I tell them people upon the bloggers and all people who may see there, I'm very, very blah because You know, I am not in for the buffoonism. You understand? We are dealing with real political order and strategy. Andrew Holness know that he has much to prep for. So it is not only about the win. You understand? We're going to give him that because we are honorable people, right? As it relates to, you know, respect the people's vote, right? The people's choice. If it is the people's choice, because we know that in many instances, the buying of votes, right? The undue delay, right? The strategies being applied. We have seen Juliet Holness in and out after she had voted, right? And we have seen where Andrew Holness with police go and, you know, try to pressure a polling station and all of these things. But I am not going to get into the semantics, right? With them. I am not in the gutter politics with them. You understand? So, okay, all right. Yeah, we gave you the win. We gave you the win. But now, come down to reality, Andrew Holness. You can't big up your chest again because the bragging rights card. We had taken that from you last night. And so now we have your bragging rights card. And every GLP administration know this. And I know that the conversation as it relates to their gathering, they are going to be discussing these issues. So I am coming out and telling you publicly what will happen. Juliet Holness will not be the Speaker of the House. No. And we have all the reasons as it relates for her not being the Speaker of the House because of previous actions of biasness and all of that. And so then, of course, the People's National Party, right, will not make similar mistake in agreeing, you understand, with Andrew Holness' selection. So that will not happen, Mr. Holness. That is out of the door. You get it? We are going to make sure that the Integrity Commission investigators have more alacrity in terms of trusting forward. Because now the Integrity Commission investigator, right, have a support of persons who wanted to get rid of corruption and eliminate corruption. They will have the support of us in social media. And let me say this, I want to speak to my Jamaican people. Don't believe that it is over, because we are going now to the fact that we are now stronger. Rattigan and myself and others, we will now proceeding to the Magnitsky Act. Because we know that, let me say this to Andrew. We know that we don't have the stopping power as it relates to the DPP that you are going to select. And we are going to anticipate you now this morning. We know that the two DPP that you are looking on to select is either Ms. Thompson, who has learned well from Paula Llewellyn, or Keisha Prince Jamaica, who let you walk on the level of corruption between you and the persons who you are influence the awarding of contract. So you think it is going to over, okay, all right. You win yesterday, and so then social media bloggers need to stop and no, we just start. We're just starting. We just starting. The fight just begin. And it's getting stronger and stronger. So we want to tell you that. And we are telling you in front of a face, sir, where we are going and what we will be doing. And we have no hesitation in telling you that. And so then for the next 5 years, you sharpen your machinery, because your machinery will be meeting us in social media. And we are here because we are fighting against corruption. We know, Andrew, let me say this, that you have no interest. You have absolutely no interest in running the country and talk about good governance. We know that your ultimate goal was to strengthen your legacy of wealth via corruption. And we know that the reason why you push so hard and fight so hard was to save your ass out of prison. So let me tell you what you are going to do. You are going to either select Thompson, or you're going to select Keisha Prince. And we know you have already installed, right, Dennis Strong, right, as it relates to FID. Now, Jamaica, we know that we are not going to see the FinSac report. So let me tell you now, Mystic Sensation, you said you play chess, but me is a graphist. So I am telling you your moves. So here what you are going to do. You are going to pick one of those two DPPs. Right? The man of FID, right, is going to try to rub out this case. The DPP is not going to pursue it. So we are telling you what is going to happen. But to the fact that we know that, of course, as it relates to how the DPP appointment being processed, we know that the legal counsel, right, that you have influence is going to select who you want to select. Then it is going to come to your office, and then you are going to sign off on it, and then you are going to send it to the Governor General, and the Governor General is going to appoint these people. We know that's how it goes. And so then, of course, the opposition don't really have any say in that. So we are telling you, right, in terms of where we know that, okay, we can't touch you on that because we know how corrupted you are. Now watch this again. What is going to happen? Now, you have 34 and the PNP of 29. Now, as it relates to the Integrity Commission, right, and they are investigating, you have the Integrity Commission, have 5 of those members, right, charged for illicit enrichment. Andrew Holness, I know you know what that means. And remember, Andrew Holness, you have that struggle to come. You have the Integrity Commission investigator. Just pull out 5 of the 10 that they're pursuing. You know what that means, Andrew? By-election. By-election. And so then, because of the billions that you spend stealing, that's why we want to cement from now and make sure we strengthen our people with the information necessary. Right? And let me say this. And if you lose 4 of those by-elections, because prepare yourself to have by-elections after by-election based on what the Integrity Commission investigators will be coming out with. And so then, when that happens, if you lose 4 of those seats, then, sir, the pendulum swing. The People's National Party will be in government. So you have to understand all those predicaments where you have facing you, you know. Remember, if the pendulum swings and 4 of those members charged. Please note, sir, that the People's National Party, right, will be the incumbent, right? So then, for all GLP bloggers who they run out, me know them a listen to me, you know. I know when them hear this, you understand? Yeah, they are going to consult their lawyers, and their lawyers are going to tell them, yes, he's right. So then, please, the fight is not over. You understand? We are here in the space, right? And we are here to educate and protect our people, right? Now, let me just share the first video before Melting Pot comes on, because I know that Melting Pot will be coming on later. And you know that is where the fire started with Melting Pot. So let me just, right? Deal with that, share some information. My Jamaican people, listen me. Don't ever believe that the fight is over. Don't you ever believe that. We are here in the space and we are not going to let you down.
General Secretary, who has been phenomenal as the campaign director. Yes, in terms of charting the path. And I know that there were some who believed he couldn't do the fantastic job as campaign director and hold down that seat. But he made sure to bring home Eastern Westmoreland. Comrades, Comrade Jensen, Comrade David.
Comrade Chair, Comrade Leader, and a man who I'm proud to call Comrade Leader. Very proud of the work that you have done, Comrade Mark Golding, to unite our party, to energize our party, and to allow us to be very competitive in an election. To the other officers on the platform, campaign spokespersons, newly elected member of parliament, listen. Now, comrades, we did not get the result that we wanted today, but we are a democratic party that believes in the process, and we believe in putting forward our ideas to the people and campaigning vigorously and for them to make a decision. And we accept the decision that the public makes at any time. Not only when it is in our favor, we accept the decision that the public makes. I want to commend each and everyone on this platform and in this audience who believed in what we had to say and believe in the mission and vision of the PNP led by Mark Jefferson Golding. We started from way behind. We started with 14 constituencies. I believe at the end of the night we are at 29, which represents more than 100% increase in the number of constituencies represented by the People's National Party. It is true that there is no second place in politics and that we're still in opposition, but we will commence the work beginning tomorrow to ensure that the PNP will be the next government in the future. Thank you very much. Be safe on the road. God bless you.
Comrades, it is time to ask the party leader to come to the stage. I want you to give Mikey G a big PNP welcome and thank you.
Comrade Chairman, Comrade General Secretary, Comrade Officers, all of the comrades on the platform, all the comrades in the audience, all the people of Jamaica who are listening, watching. First of all, I think it's my duty as a believer in democracy to acknowledge and concede the result and to congratulate our opponents, the Jamaica Labour Party, for their victory tonight. Jamaica's democracy is important and we must cherish it. Sometimes it brings bitter disappointments. Sometimes those disappointments are laced with a tinge of a sense that not all is fair and just, but it is very, very important that we put democracy ahead of all of those feelings. And I accept the result of these elections. And although obviously I'm very disappointed in the outcome, I think it is only correct to expressly acknowledge the success that our opponents have managed to gain today. I want to thank a lot of people. And first of all, I have to thank the comrades and supporters of South St. Andrew for standing with me, for coming out today in their numbers, and for giving us a decisive victory in the constituency, which I have the honor to serve. I also want to thank our campaign team, led by our campaign director, our general secretary, Dayton Campbell, Dr. Dayton Campbell. Also a newly minted member of parliament. Congratulations to him on his victory in East and Westmoreland. And all the other members of the campaign team who worked with him. There are a number of names there. I don't want to attempt to go through all those names because I'm going to probably forget somebody and then I'll regret it. But they have done a tremendous job. The communications team, I want to thank them publicly for the work they have done. And that is a night and day kind of job. It starts very early in the morning and goes on till late at night. So their commitment to the task at hand is remarkable, and I want to thank them deeply for it. All of our candidates who ran in this election and their campaign teams, I want to thank them for their effort, for their commitment to the country, to the democratic process. I want to, of course, congratulate the 29 who have been successful tonight. And we have more than doubled our number of MPs tonight. And for those who were not first, and they still committed themselves extremely well. And I want to say that this was a wonderful demonstration of the maturity of Jamaica's political process, that we could go through such a closely fought election without any violence to speak of. And, we must all give ourselves a round of applause. In our homes, if you're listening, here at PNP headquarters, because that was not always the case. And I wanted to thank all of the pioneers who led that process to where it is today, where I think we can safely say that Jamaica is a place that really cherishes and respects the democracy that we have built. I want to thank the people of Jamaica for having received us so well and having given us, hundreds of thousands of votes and given us 29 seats. We don't take that for granted. We thank you for your time today. I know the voting was often painfully slow, and that's an issue which more will have to be said about, because it's an undemocratic situation when people, elderly and other people, And it should not be that way. We should do better, and we have to do better. Must tell you that I'm proud of the platform that we put forward for the people of Jamaica. It was a truly progressive platform, a platform that offered a radical reform to the land tenure issues that have plagued this country for centuries. A radical platform that would have enhanced the standard of living and quality of life of those working families that are struggling to survive now by giving them significantly lower tax burdens on their income. Progressive in a social justice sense as well, around issues such as beach reform, contract work, and other things which really need to be addressed because there are injustices in our society which cannot be tolerated and should be modified and rejected in their current form. So I just want to thank all of the team that came together and developed those ideas and put them forward boldly and without reticence. And I think that for many Jamaicans, they saw the benefits and the power that that platform and those ideas and proposals would have delivered. So ladies and gentlemen, for us, it's a difficult night. This is not an easy speech to make. You know, one wasn't hoping for a result which is not success. And it means that the government will get its third term and we will have as a nation to deal with that going forward. But the People's National Party, I'm happy to tell you, is alive and well, is a powerful political organization. And has embraced modernity in its methods and has definitely, I think, over the last few years, come a long way towards being a competitive political force in Jamaica. And as the General Secretary said, the work begins right away to prepare ourselves for the next opportunity to offer ourselves to serve the nation in government. And I believe the people will, in due course, give us that chance. Ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, the word is love. Power to the people. God.
All right. Sister Spinks. Yes. When you listen every single word that comes out of the comrade leader mouth, I mean, everything for me was so sincere. And to the fact that he wanted to do much more in terms of bringing the nation forward. But he's stronger now, things.
Yes,
knowing the spirit of what Mark Bolin have, right? The spirit of love, is going to make sure he continue to protect the Jamaican people, his people.
Yes.
And that is what is important. The People's National Party is now a powerful machine going forward than before. Now, when you look at it, Pinks, right? Yes, we have lost the general election in terms of not winning the general election. But knowing to the fact that the People's National Party has no strong capital injection going up against a corrupted government that has earned the money, has earned the corrupted money, the billions, the trillions of dollars in their arsenal. And the people has to raise a genuine love and unity, right? And pull off a victory like this, it ought to be celebrated. So for people who might be just looking to the fact that, okay, all right, we just wanted to win. I also wanted to win. I have a feelings of, mixed feelings, right, in terms of, not winning it. Yes, I am hurt. And I'm not going to pretend to social media that, right, I am not hurting, right? Because we wanted us to send that ultimate message that we wanted to send in terms of fighting against corruption, right? So from your observation as it relates to what Margolin had said, right? What is your take on it?
Okay, Uncle Byron. My take on it is that it's to show how pure and clean hearted this man is.
Yes,
From his speech and the fact that he's willing to concede, that's a
yes,
very good leader. Because up to this morning, I was looking at it and say, yeah, we want to win and we deserve to win because we are the honest people over here. But sometimes these things happen to show the persons that voted against him and open their eyes that this man is just someone who is not corrupt and he will not use any ways of corruption to win. And I'm happy that I'm still
you
believing in this man every day to be the leader of this country one day. Because, as I said before on a previous show, whether it's 10, the 11, the 12, the 13
yeah,
members of the 49 that were there
of course, I'm going to speak on it.
who were under investigations by the IC, we will have several by-elections coming up. We will have many persons losing their position, including permanent secretaries. We will have many things happening to sort this out. And before the 5 years is up, their term is up, I believe there will be a resolution in removing Andrew Holness as the leader of this country. Do you know why, Jamaicans? I believe this because he's one of the persons. He is the first person named by the IC to be on the investigation. And once he is removed, because I'm sure Paul Buchanan deserved that seat. And I'm sure Andrew will be when he has when we have the by-election for that seat of Andrew Holness against Paul Buckner, the rightful owner for that seat will be there because Andrew is going to be forced to have a by-election in the seat in the future. Jamaicans who voted for him, I'm telling you, you will be removed. And once he is removed from his seat, further things will be happening to him because this man needs to be prosecuted and brought to justice for all the wrongs he did. I am sure that my fellow Jamaicans want to live in peace and tranquility for the rest of their life and want a better future for themselves and their children. We want a better health care. We want a better educational system here. We want better security here. We want the brain drain to stop. We want when people graduate from universities and colleges here stay here and work here. We want to give every young person a chance to own their own home. It's not easy working and paying rent. Not easy for a young person, especially young people that start their families early. And I yield the floor to you, Uncle Byron. And
Thank
by
you,
the way,
sister.
congrats to the 29 PNP members of parliament.
Yes,
Congrats to them because now we have more than double. We are double strong on our
exactly,
side to fight the
exactly.
battle.
All right. Thank you for that, Sister Things. But let me say this, right? You know, last night general election, and I need to speak on this matter, right? And one of the reasons why we ought to feel proud of our performance as it relates to Andrew Holness' win. I am not going to sit here as a hypocrite and don't speak on certain issues. Andrew
Exactly.
Holness' win did not represent a true democracy process, a true democratic process. It didn't. A lot of people will say, oh, Mystic, don't go there. But we are to be truthful to ourselves. That what we have witnessed and what we have seen during the course of voting yesterday, if persons willing to speak the truth, that some of the seats won were some of the seats bought. We see the evidence. We have the evidence. That is not a fair democracy. That doesn't speak good to the democratic process. Where you spend billions of dollars to buy votes. That is not the true representation of the people's choice. Let me show you. Let me just read something. You understand, and we have the evidence. And this is no joke. I want people to understand it. We have 9 outdoor PNP agents did not show up for Meadowbrook PD. They all called in sick. A lot of people don't know this. I am putting it out. I am putting it out here. 9 outdoor PNP agents did not show up for the Meadowbrook PD. They all call in sick. Is it a coincidence that they're all calling sick? Is it a coincidence? Well, subjectively, this is my subjective opinion. You were sold out. You were bought out. How does that speak to our democracy? How does that speak to it? This is the very same thing that we are fighting for. We have thousands of people in the diaspora who flew in to stand up against corruption. This is what we call the Bagawayaism. This is one of the reasons, and many reasons, why we spent 400 years in slavery. What I am looking on is a plantocracy under Andrew Holness administration. And he's coming out on social media, right? Went on his platform with his jacket. Prime Minister by 1 p.m. telling the Jamaican populace that he's certain of the victory. Now, Jamaican people, look at this. How you have the Prime Minister planning to give award to the President of the Electoral Commission. How does that make sense in a truthful democracy? That could never ever happen in a modern democracy. So then, I am saying this to tell my comrade brothers and sisters, don't feel disappointed. Don't feel disappointed. Morally and ethically, we didn't lose. We didn't lose.
Exactly.
Yes. Andrew Holness, as it relates to his level of cruelty, doesn't mind that by any means necessary. We have seen the side messages from day one. They will never, ever surrender Jamaica to the PNP. So you can see the premeditatedness prior to this general election. And no wonder why Darrell Valls now land himself in trouble and his wife had lost out. And I'm telling you, let me say this, Jamaica, that is one of the happiest results of the general election for me. One of the happiest thing. And you know why that is? You know why that is the pinnacle of our success? Let me tell you, Jamaica, why that is the pinnacle of our success. There's a culture in Portland called the Varsism. And that is what ISAT Buchanan had bite into and damaged it. It stopped. Varsism culture. People, I'm going to share some nonsense in terms of how some people trying to defend Anne-Marie Valls. But should I have that clip to talk about later down? I'm just leaving it now, but I'm going to attack it. Now, can you ever put, since we see a lot of them on social media, come down to meritocracy, but do they understand the definition of meritocracy? They don't even understand what, as I am here speaking, they don't even understand. So we want them to look up meritocracy. Anne-Marie Valls, right? Who we are paying millions of dollars per year. What is her contribution in Parliament as it relates to challenging policies, speak on policies, and her decision and input in strengthening a bill to make it law? That it's not Anne-Marie capability. Anne-Marie's capability is to knock bench and jump up on the road, right? When she doesn't utilize proper procurement procedures in bringing in what you call Barbara Green on the road, carpet on the road. Sorry. You think that is representational politics? And I see some, believe you me, they're darker than Johnson. But let me just leave that until we touch that clip. And let me just move on. Right? Because we are juggled. Let us just move on to the next.
Uncle Byron, let me add something to what you said earlier regarding Meadowbrook and the 9 indoor agents that did not show up. I understand they were paid $150,000 Jamaican not to turn up. And one of my comrade sisters, she came from overseas to vote, and she had to take the place of one of them. And when she did that, the EOJ supervisor was carrying in voters without IDs to vote. And
Yes.
most of these voters could not even answer the questions to verify their identity. And when she challenged them and challenged what they were doing, she was told that she could be removed. And there was a little argument there whether to remove her or not, and she had to end up calling the police. Because what happened, she said that she noticed that the EOJ supervisor was telling the people without these IDs how to answer the question and what answers to give to respond to these questions, and she noticed it. She said one of them told one of them, remember to tell them you're a draftsman. So if you are a legal voter, you're supposed to know your own occupation. Why is the EOJ officer telling you your occupation to verify your identification in a polling station on the day of voting? Does that make any sense to anybody?
Well,
And this happens many other places where the EOJ supervisors are compromised. As I said, where I went to vote, the EOJ supervisor was putting labor rights at the head of the line. at the front of the line
And
and
let me say,
pushing people through the gates.
and let me say this, Pinks. I got this information from yesterday. Now, I don't want the name to be exposed. I just want to show it to all the viewers that this is no joke, right? This so-called win has been sold. They bought it out, and this is the information. I don't know if I want to protect, you know, the person's information. Hold on, I wonder if I'm getting it right.
But
Okay,
don't somewhere with it. Yeah, we see it.
all right,
Yeah, man,
there
we
it is.
see it. All right.
And immediately, right, I was called, and minimum people were called. Nine,
$150,000, and that person who
$150,000 each.
and that member of parliament is responsible for the canteens at the hospitals and giving the people crackers on one slice of tomato, one piece of sardine, and cold rice.
Right? And that is one of the reasons why we are saying, right, we are not going to believe that, okay, all right, you know, we need to be sad about anything, right? The election being bought. And Andrew wants to know that. Again, as it relates to Bobby Montague, just the video, we have the video.
How did he win?
You know, the money. Look. And so then, all of what you have seen happen there, right? I mean, if you have a truthful democracy, People's National Party win the general election. And the reason why, you know, we know that's a fact and we are humble, but I want to show people something in terms of me playing, right? The first clip. You know the reason why I'm playing it, Spinks? I am showing it to the public, showing it to Jamaica locally and in the diaspora, right? That you see how Mark Golden take defeat gracefully. You see how the comrade leader took defeat gracefully, morally, and ethically, and by principle, concede. Why do you think I am keeping that in my archive? Because I'm telling you, at the next general election, that is a clip that we are going to resort to. Because we are going to see the behavior of those who want to switch this thing to say Mark Golden hungry for power. We are showing you how the man accept defeat gracefully. And I hope the next general election, right? Others or any other person who will be there, because we're not certain that Andrew Ones will be there. So let me say that specifically clear, because of the cloud that hangs over him and he has to deal with those things. And so then we are saying no to the world. The man with the principle, the integrity boss, conceded gracefully, humbly. I hope others can do the same. Now let us move on. Let us move on to our next clip as we juggle through. Once again, I want to thank all of my, you know, comrade brothers and sisters, right? I love my people, you know. Love my people, because if it weren't for them, right? Let me just play that.
Today, Jamaica won. Jamaica won this election. Yes. The majority of voters decided to choose Jamaica.
If we had a less than 40% voter turnout, how can you say Jamaica choose
Oh,
the vote choose Jamaica?
well,
If
listen, I am not going to listen to him any longer. I am not going to listen to him.
likewise,
I'm going to play a little piece of him to make people see, you know. I'm not listening to him any longer. And I only showing that to show you how corrupted and 100% your evil he is. Now, he knew what he had done as it relates to the level of corruption. He knew it all, right? And when he's coming out and talking about Jamaica, right? Make your choice. Jamaica, he did not give Jamaica the opportunity, right, for Jamaica to make his choice. He didn't. You interfering with the process, right? Sending out the demons to buy votes and create mayhem. We have witnessed as it relates to his wife, the behavior that his wife had voted. And after she voted, she should have now departed the vicinity. But she was there back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And you coming out now, come and say, thank you, Jamaica, for Jamaica choice to make their choice in choosing you. Eh? Jamaica, no, that's not how it is. That's not how it was. Right? Jamaica did not make that choice. You have manipulated the process and you know that in your hearts of hearts. And many of them who surround you know that. That you have stolen the general election. You have stolen the general election. Right? But for those who sold out themselves and sold out them soul, right? Just anticipate. And let me say this, Jamaica. Right? All of the promises that Andrew has made as it relates to the first 100 days promises. And these recent promises that he made up, right, pre-general election, he will not be fulfilling them. And for all of those who take their $150,000 and turn a blind eye by not showing up, all of those who conveniently reported sick, that $150,000 that you have taken, inflation, let me tell you something. Each one of you, and you know you are listening, inflation is going to eat that out in a 1 week. The $150,000 each one to collect.
one day,
Inflation is going to eat out that in a 1 week, and you are going to be at square one. And as fast as you get that $150,000 is as fast you people are going to shit it out. Worthless. Right? Worthless. And this is the very same behavior that you have carried out. You understand? 400 years ago. 400 years ago. Selling us out and selling out yourself. Right? And that's what you did. Let me just heal to Sister Spinks. Go ahead, Sister Spinks.
well, it's the whole slave mentality, you know, and what Bob Marley has said about mental slavery. It goes back to people not understanding that when you sell out yourself and sell your vote, you're selling out your future and your children's future. Because this man who paid 150,000 to these persons did not care enough about Jamaicans to make sure they have a nutritious meal in the hospitals that he was given the contracts for. And this same man owe money to a private citizen that a private citizen had to take him to court, about $20 million. So on top of that, and he's a known drunkard and a gambler. And for 150,000 Jamaicans, you're willing to sell out the future of Jamaica. Very sad, very sad. And as I saw from the clip, you cannot tell us that the majority of Jamaicans vote for you when the voter turnout was less than 40%. Do the maths, Andrew. We know you don't like maths. We know you don't like maths over there. And, you can't convince us that you won this election fair because we saw the countdown up to 4 boxes and we saw the differences in the numbers just after 4 boxes were counted. The same thing with Malahou's seat and the same thing with Janice Allen's seat. We can see how the numbers were counted out. It does not add up.
Exactly.
But as we can say from our side, we are honest people and we will always resolve our situation honestly
There you go.
because I am sure by before the 5 years is up, all the corrupt people over on that side will be revealed and we will have in several by elections, including Andrew's seat. And the Jamaica Labour Party will be forced to find another leader for their party at the end of the day. I yield the floor.
And let me just continue the button where you left off, right? And I am going to let me put up Leon McIntyre, right? If it was low voters turnout, why it takes most people so long to vote? And I want to speak on that because Leon, you know what? The delayed tactics being utilized, right, by the EOJ intentionally.
Exactly.
Yes, right? Many people had gotten frustrated on the process. Being there 2 hours, 3 hours, and 4 hours, right? Right, a lot of people got frustrated and they departed, right? Now, yesterday not yesterday, this morning, I was listening the Titan boss, and he made mention of them wearing the PNP logo and so forth and so forth, and so they were identified, and these areas that made them so become targeted. So the delay strategy that being utilized and so forth and so forth, it was really, someone called me and they were telling, people called me and they were telling me that, the time that it is taking, right, as it relates to the outdoor agent, because what happened, let us explain the process to the people speaks. You have the outdoor agent. What the outdoor agent does, they do the first initial verification of identification. Isn't that correct?
Right,
Things.
right.
Then when the outdoor agent do that check, that first screening of the identification, then the persons would be directed to go inside, and then you have now the indoor agent. What the indoor agents will do, the indoor agents now will do the verification of the identification, right? Double checks and balance.
Correction there. The
Yes.
indoor agent is not really allowed to have any contact with the voter.
Okay.
What happened is that it's the presiding officer who verify the ID, and
Okay.
the poll clerk is just there to take notes and write information in her book
Okay.
of
All right.
who is voting. And the
Okay.
indoor agents do the same. They basically write information as to who they think vote for them and
Okay.
all who voted.
So here, so this is the process that the outdoor agent do the screening for the identification, send them on, and then the officer, what is it? What the officer?
Presiding officer is the one
Officer
who does the verification of the ID
do the verification.
and give you the instructions and everything like that.
All right.
And yeah.
Okay. So well said, Spinks. And so then, right, a lot of people are complaining of the delay in the process, Spinks, right? And it was so I mean, overbearing from many of these people, right?
Yes, because I wanted to just run in and vote and run out back again, and I don't understand why a young man was outside my PD telling me that my name was not on the list to delay me and to turn me off from voting.
You see that?
It's a good thing I have my common sense. Have common sense to go to the PD directly and ask if my name is there.
Exactly. All right, Sister Spinks, thank you for that so much. Let us just go to the next clip that we have here, right? It's crazy, Sister Spinks, but we are much stronger and we are happy for that.
You want your man marry. As man in light, you man fix road, you know.
Fresh drop.
People them vote out and marry. Now too much road in fix. Watch chat down compass as man in light. And the people them vote out and marry.
Now, let me tell you something, Jamaica. Believe you me, I'm not a liar. This is the sweetest victory for me.
I agree.
Sweetest victory. The sweetest victory. Now, let us, you know what, before me even do that, let me just give you some of what the people them must say. Can't believe it. Let me just juggle along in terms of some of what the people must say. Madness. People want to hear this. I don't look what them are mad to say what the people must say. Right? I'm going to tell you, you have some people just trust me. Right?
I was a little taken aback when Buchanan was in the lead. And for hours, they kept going back and forth and nothing changed. He was like,
nothing changed, bro.
300 in the lead, right?
God.
And I kept, for hours, them can't get no update from them.
No,
and finally, they get,
it's like them stop
finally, they get an update.
It's like them
you
stop them. What the hell happened there?
Exactly. You notice all of a sudden, Andrew gets 2,000 votes to win. But watch this now. And this is something that I don't know if we were looking or paying attention. But I know as bad as people might want to think about Emily Cook, she said it, she coded it when she was talking, and I don't think people picked up what she was saying. Right? But the fact that he got these extra 2,000 votes after hours passed, right?
Yes.
And not one of these votes the man get. Not even if he say he get 2 out of the vote, he just get every single one, every single ballot was all for him. That makes sense? I don't think I'm hallucinating or anything, but that never made any sense to me.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And I don't think a lot of people realize that this is a minority government. The fact that the People's National Party hold on to 15 more seats, bringing them to 29. And I really, truly, honestly believe that my prediction was actually 46-70. That was my prediction. Maybe it might sound unrealistic to some people, but
no, I was way more than that. I was way more.
You were way more than that?
Yeah, man.
So I was 46-17, right? Yeah. And based on what I'm seeing, I think there is about 5 seats, and I would really want Andrew Hollis' constituency. That I would want to see a recount on that.
Yeah, definitely. It's not just one.
I would like to say his seat in particular. And I think they need to examine the ballots carefully if that were to happen. And there is 4 others. So I will just close at this point by saying there really need to be some magisterial recounts. Right. And I think if that were to happen and it was to be done properly, I think we would garner more seats. Thank you. And thanks for giving me the opportunity.
Usually, I would think that there's somebody there to, like, maybe have somebody there to oversee these ballot boxes and hold them, remove them from the polling station.
Right.
But it was like ballot boxes, people do what they're supposed to do, the procedure, and then put a thing in the ballot box. But who is there to govern and to guide or to say that, okay, this one should be locked up here or there? Like
I can't answer that. There's supposed to be a supervisor, EOJ supervisor. That individual actually have something that identifies them as a supervisor. Yeah, there will be somebody there. Yeah.
All right. Even if that was the case, right?
Mm-hmm.
You never see much of that. So people can just move, move as them like and do as them like. Even
Guys, get back. So yes, that is something that we need to discuss this morning. That is something that we all watch. With
Yeah, man, I have something to say about that.
With Buchanan and Andrew Onis. And I mean, up unto the point of, I don't remember the time to be exact, right? Buchanan was in the lead. And then all of a sudden, it has, held there for quite some time, I think even more than an hour. And all of a sudden, we look, as it relates to the remaining box, Andrew Onis able to amass over 2,000 votes. Now, this is what I want to query. This is what I want to query.
I have a theory, that I want to share.
But all right, look, but this is what I want to query, please. Since you have experience, how much ballot per box?
It's not how much ballot per box, it's how much votes come in the PD at a time. So on average you will say about probably around 200, 300 votes per ballot. But 500, yeah, but those 4 boxes. Let me share with you my theory.
Yes.
You remember yesterday when he closed down, and I will point out the polling station, and the polling station was actually the Pentecostal Basic School polling station. That was the same school he closed down, and our people living in from last year because of burial. So for 1 year, that school was closed. Let me remind Jamaicans that. That is the school that he closed. Right. So I'm making a connection now. So it was always used as a polling station. So yesterday it was used as a polling station. And my theory is that when he closed down the polling station, right?
Yes.
They put in 4 boxes. They switch out 4 boxes for that polling station. They did the switch.
Yes.
Because those police officers were working definitely for Andrew and not for us.
Yes.
Because how can you call all the police in the area to come to that polling station and close it down because you have the power to do it? So that is where I think the glitch was for his seat right there.
Mm-hmm. Right. You finished, Sister Pinks?
Yes, I'm finished. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So let us move on again, because that is something that I think need to be investigated, Sphinx. Right? That is something that need to be investigated. Let us get through, right, another thing here. I want to listen to this, people. Right? I want people to listen to this madness. And this is why, this is Jamaica, let me talk to you, Jamaica. That's why education is important. And our civic lesson is important. When you hear, oh, this person reason, and this is what we want to really have some serious dialogue on this morning. Just listen to how this person reason.
Alma Rivers filling up every road, every sidewalk, every asphalt, every sand, gravel, and dirt, every bicycle lane. She fit dig it up and her back and run her yard with it. I hope that's what she does. And I'm being very, very serious about it. I don't care if it's a PNP stronghold or JLP stronghold. Me believe say if somebody at work, you put them in the seat. That is what me believe. The only reason why ISAT won is because of its affiliation with Vibes Cartel. Let's just be honest. That's the only reason why he won. Nobody even cares about if it's a PNP stronghold. That is the only reason why. Anne-Marie Vaz work. May I tell you, 3 parishes me never did know they still exist. That is half of a parish. St. Anne, half a St. Anne, me completely forgot more. St. Mary, Portland, and St. Thomas. St. Thomas have nice highway. Look like any highway in a Miami. Pretty decent highway. Nice. When me tell you, say road nice. Don't at St. Thomas. St. Mary are develop. Portland are develop. Vaz make sure so the pin them up they can get bus. She build a road so that the bus them can go up there. Up there not perfect, but at least the woman did that work. She fit pick up all our bus them and carry them on her top. Make it pin them walk. They used to find without the bus them. All the bus them would have creep up every bus up them with a no bus could drive on the road when me fix. My petty I could run for MP. I could run for MP. Can I tell you all my sister election results here? All of my bus them would have tell them drive them come straight back to Kingston. Put them underneath the storage. Come on them back. Everybody, and it might sound away, but sometimes you see ungrateful people, them for feel it. Them for feel it. Them for feel it. Them for feel it. Me no business, them for feel it. Sometimes them for feel it. Like, me not the type of person to give something and take it back in. But you see, sometimes you have to make people learn lessons. It is so disheartening for know that the woman walking. One thing with Anne-Marie Vaz remind me of Miami every single day the woman have fixed her road. Road networks have always been an issue in Jamaica. Always been an issue. I don't think people understand. Patrol. The other day one man drowned now on patrol, you know. Irrespective of whether or not he was drinking and riding his bicycle, he should not have been able to drown in a patrol. That is crazy, you know. And the woman that try to make her constituency decent. If you look up at Anne-Marie Vaz area, you can walk on a road them in her heels. You can walk on the asphalt in her heels. And then vote out the woman. But me tell you no, so no wicked up at Poland. Me not tell a lie. But not tell a lie, no wicked up there.
Let me stop from
no wicked up there.
And then we discuss this situation here. Let us discuss the situation here. This is, I don't know if we should put this one in the Guinness Book of World Record when it comes to stupidness.
She drunk.
No. And this is why I want to teach them. You see how education is important? Education is so important. You hear what she's saying?
I heard what she said.
The people in Portland, East Portland, they are ungrateful because Anne-Marie Vaz, as according to her, fixed their roads. And so, right, they shouldn't have voted against her. All right, we could break this down for her. What she doesn't know, and this is how you understand when you are so ignorant, you can so be impacted and so indoctrinated. And this is the case with her. One of the first things that she doesn't know, that there is no member of parliament, right, as it relates to legality, should take their personal money and fix government projects.
Thank you.
It is against the law. And so then, why am I saying that? Is now to talk to her that Anne-Marie Vaz did not use her personal money to fix the road.
Thank you.
Who she's calling ungrateful. Those are the people who pay their the tax money that a political administration need to spend wisely. And so then it is the responsibility of the parliamentarian to perform as they expected to do. If she didn't know this, she wouldn't be coming out and say that Anne-Marie Vaz, if she was Anne-Marie Vaz, she would have go back and dig up at the road. We have worse than that on social media in terms of what being said, you know. I'm going to show you. Right? That Anne-Marie Vaz should have go back and dig up the road. No, we don't hear them start a madness here. And then this goes, and you know why? You know why she been saying it? Let me tell you something. You see, some of these politicians tell the narrative that they are the ones who are doing things for people, right? As it relates to their personal money. Remember, so we hear Warmington with a behavior, you know, saying, make the opposing party get none of the money, you know, to do anything, you know. And so then you realize that is sort of the GLP messaging, right, to those supporters in saying that the MP, right, are doing them a favor by fixing the road or provide water. Now, when a community road don't fix, and when tap water becomes an issue, the politician, they need to get booted. People in Jamaica, you are to be aware that no politician that you vote for, that they are doing you a favor. They are not doing you a favor. None of them doing you a favor. Your tax money in the treasury is what working for you. You are their employer. So when you have an employer, fire an employee. We don't want to have no sideshow. They talk about the employer shouldn't fire the employee if the employee is not doing what ought to be done as it relates to the employee job responsibility and functions. So when we get to this level of ignorance, that's okay. Hold on, please, before I make you come in. I want to share another clip. Let me show you the level of madness what go on here, man. Listen for me. Let me show you the level of madness what go on here, such things. You can't believe it. Let me see if we can show you the level of madness what go on here, man. Look at this, please. Look at this.
I'm grateful. Make Buchanan come fix it back. Only two ungrateful. Only two ungrateful. Two.
Now, Jamaica. Again, education is so important. So important. Now, you see that you see where that level of ignorance reach, the man take pick up. Yeah? And he's claiming now that Anne-Marie Vaz had done right the constituency so much favor that the constituency owed the rights to vote for Anne-Marie Vaz. Unbelievable, Jamaica people, unbelievable. And when I saw that level of madness, I said, no, sir. Jamaica, we have to educate our people. We can't continue like this. Can't. Because many of us, for true, many of us, as it relates to that young lady, right, and that income pool there that you have shown, right? don't believe that, look, we are the ones who employ these politicians. They are working for us. And in every 5 years, they come to us, right, to get to us. Sign another contract, whether or not we are going to employ them. And that is one of the reasons why a manifesto is important. So every 5 years, we say, right, let us teach them now civic lesson now, sister things. This is the reason why, Miss Madam and Sir, we asked the party, right, going into an election, right, to let us see their manifesto. Now, in their manifesto, we have plans of what such projection is going to be in terms of certain achievement and accomplishment, and some of what they have done, they have accomplished, right? To now give us the information to say, yes, we have performed, right? And in the future, we plan to do this as we progress, right? And when we look at the manifesto, if the manifesto sounds good to us, right, we are going to employ them going through a process of election. Now, if them two idiots here, sorry if they call them idiots, you know, but boy, I trust me, them get on top of my nerves. You understand? So it goes to show you how much these people are lacking. And that is why we have our system like this. Mighty God, man. Are we serious in terms of those two persons who I have just highlighted? In terms of what they're saying, how much of that impacted many people in terms of having that sort of perception? This is nonsense. No, let us zero in a bit on the two candidates. Let us zero in a bit on the two candidates. And let us test the cranium ability of both candidates. One, let us speak as it relates to ISAT Buchanan, who lives in the academia community. Right? Degreed in bachelor's in law. Well-established lawyer. I've been there. I've done that. And I've took on a case where Tavares Finsu, who claimed that he's a KC lawyer, can't manage. Can't manage. And you have an ISAT Buchanan. So let us test the cranium ability and the capacity, the tenacity. Let us teach them people here. Teach them. Hey, believe you me. You understand? Things like this just full up a dog mess, man. Let me teach them. So when it comes to an ISAT Buchanan, right? And somebody who have epilepsy, now put it out there like that because the way you should behave just like that. Now, ISAT Buchanan is a well-established lawyer. Have performed well at the Privy Council, where other lawyers succeeded as it failed as it relates to Tavares Finson. ISAT Buchanan succeeded. And we all know about the Vibes Cartel case and many more cases that ISAT have not mentioned. Many more. So, ISAT Buchanan is not a one-hit wonder. Now let us deal with the real issues of representation. Ask Anne-Marie Vaz right now, which one of the bills in Parliament that she lobbied on, where she makes strong argument in strengthening that bill. None. Zero. Why would we want someone like an Anne-Marie Vaz who can't do that in our parliament? Why was she even there in the beginning? She should have never been there. If Anne-Marie Vaz went to the University of West Indies and failed, I am not bashing her. You understand? Because as it relates to she not having a degree, because you have many people who without a degree smarter than people who have degrees. And I'm not asking you that, I'm telling you. You have many people didn't have a degree because of lacking the opportunity of finance. But they are smart. Right? They are smart. And if they are given the opportunity, trust me. So don't believe that I am hitting people who don't have any degree. But the fact of the matter, Anne-Marie Vaz came from a circle that's strong in finance. And she's one of those who has good spoon. But she still went there and failed. That is different from someone who doesn't have it as it relates to the financial backing. And as I said, you have many people, both home and abroad, that don't have any degree. And trust me, smarter than some of those who have degrees. And there's no to be about that. So I'm not licking, I'm not hitting people who don't have any degree. Let us set the record straight. But with the level of ignorance as it relates to why Anne-Marie Vaz should be in Parliament and should be sent back in Parliament, and me hear argument that talk about how you make ISAT Buchanan come there in 11 months and then the people then vote for ISAT Buchanan. The people vote for ISAT Buchanan because ISAT Buchanan have the capacity, the brain power. Listen, people, the brain power that he can now go into Parliament and do what? Fight for us in Parliament. Can Anne-Marie Vaz do that? Talk to me, Jamaica. Jamaica, I want you to talk to me this morning. Can an Anne-Marie Vaz does that? No. So what good is she to us? What good? Right? Spreading carpet all over the place, breaching procurement guidelines. And does this in Anne-Marie Vaz. Anne-Marie Vaz is defending the rural school bus legacy, which now is going to eat her husband as a result of corruption. And that is one of Anne-Marie Vaz, as according to Anne-Marie Vaz, you know, people say it's one of her legacy. Unnecessary madness this. Eh? Unnecessary dunceness and steroids. Look at it, Jamaica people. Look at it. Some people wailing up themselves, ranting. How Portland is. How dear is Portland is to choose ISAT Buchanan over who is Anne-Marie Vaz? Who is Anne-Marie Vaz? Can you imagine, people? And so then I am applauding the Portland people. Thank you for your decision. A powerful decision that you have made to break the fascism in Portland. Larry Vaz, we know how bad you bad up your one arm to be reinstate back into the parliament. You know? We know how bad a bad man is in you use and money you use to buy out the people. You know? That's why Portland Portland West should vote you out. They should have voted you out. What is wrong with Portland? It's Basildon. That is wrong with Portland. And let me yield back to my sister.
Okay, Uncle Byron. You see, let me add to this conversation by saying it's not only taxes that fixes our roads, the taxes that we pay, this government that fixes the road, but also grants. Many times you get EU grants and grants from China, which is basically free money from overseas to fix our roads. And as somebody who grew up in the parish council and I've been around the parish council all my life, I know this to be a fact. Now, what those two Jamaicans did not realize, and it's obviously of their display of ignorance of what their civic rights are and what their human rights are. Because by right, if you're paying taxes in this country, you're supposed to be given roads. So why will you damage the same road? If you are paying taxes in this country, why would you be damaging, talking about the buses, right? Even though we have realized and highlighted the fact that these buses are actually too old and are dangerous for our children. And because the husband cannot produce the receipt for these buses, which we know he could have gotten them for free or for $1 each. These two citizens represent a part of our society where, and I have to sympathize with them because obviously they lack knowledge, and the people who are elected to be their leaders to teach them and direct them are not doing so, because guess what happened? The two persons who were there, East and West Portland, are both dunces, and we are proving that over and over again.
Exactly.
So this is why we need to take out the dunces that we have in Parliament and replace them with people with brain power.
Exactly.
Who can do the right thing and teach, because it's important. That's one of the reasons I love Damian Crawford, because when you see he comes up and he teaches, he has classes because he wants to improve the people around him.
Exactly.
A good leader will never keep his citizens dunce. A good leader will never keep their citizens unfed. A good leader will never keep their citizens without water in their pipes. A good leader will not keep you uneducated. And this is what the civilians of this country need to realize. You have civic rights. You have a civic duty. They have a civic duty to you, and we have a civic duty to them. They are obligated to us, not we obligated to them. And that's the difference. When she's boasting about all these roads that she laid, did she lay any pipe?
Exactly. Did she build
No,
the train?
she did not lay any pipe, any water pipe. But yet she's laying on these roads without pipes. And guess what
That's
happened?
brain.
She bought a truck. Remember, she and her husband boast about their truck with their faces on it, forcing the same citizens to buy water from these trucks when you could have gotten pipe water to your house. And I will say this again, Jamaica is the only Caribbean country with over 120 rivers, and yet there's no water in my pipe this morning. They have returned to the same artificial water shortage. And we see it happen all the time right across Jamaica. Water trucks, why are water trucks allowed to come in with water, but no water in the pipes? And as citizens, we need to stand up and demand these things from these people, because are our employees. They are obligated to us in every way. Therefore, we need to think about our vote in the future. And I yield Uncle Byron.
All right. Thank you, Sister Spinks. Let me just get to the next clip that we have here. I mean, amazing. And you know, this is the reason why we have to teach them, right? As it relates to, and you know, if they were educated, they wouldn't have been speaking like that. It's crazy. It's really crazy. You know, it's, you know. All right, Jamaica, we are going to get to another nincompoop. Want to please prepare for the for this nincompoop, please. You understand? I don't know, but I have to show it. I have to share him because I want to teach him a lesson this morning. So, people, here's the nincompoop that I'm talking about.
Put it on, boy. Put it on. Mommy, that man close bad mind, dirty crosses, you know, 1 p.m. 1 p.m. dirty thinking, foot hype, we don't want you back down here. We don't want you back down here. Dirty thinking, foot hype, we don't want you back down here. Dirty thinking, boy, when you're Kevin, we're living in your flat car. I come style up, man. Oh, no, say. I saw it go. Because we are war with pigs. That's why we end up in the pen. Yeah. Pigs we did a war with. So we have to end up in the pen because we never did tear aside and stand aside and we could not tear down with Prime Minister. We were the people them. We have to counter the lies them. Lies upon lies from Dirty Ingram, from Dirty Caution, from Dirty Gabriel. Listen, man, one of the sweetest victory this ever in the life. This victory is sweet. Sweet. Don't worry yourself. We will go back to Portland. Next election, we will go back to Portland. We will go back to Portland. We will go back to Donga Central. I saw it go.
Take for yourself, piece of shit. Take for yourself, piece of shit. Piece of garbage.
Another drunk one.
Take for yourself, garbage. Living garbage. Right? Let down your country. Let down your people. Right? That's what you did. Now, let me just speak to that piece of mess there. Now, Jamaica people, and this is where, right, his level of dunceness and steroids. Me never know, Jamaica people, that we are the ones who try to tear down Andrew Honest. I am lost. I never know that. I never know that it is me and Spinks, all of the people them in the chat, and all of the people them who listen to me are Jamaicans. I never know that really and truly it's us who tell Andrew Honest to corrupt himself. I never know that. I try to remember when me ever tell Andrew Honest to go in a cash plus. I try to remember when did I tell Andrew Honest to join Oland, jump out of Oland, and gone into SSL. I never remember that it was I who told Andrew Honest to award illegal influence contract to Gavin. And so then I did not remember that it was the Jamaicans who told Andrew Honest to bring in $470 million through various accounts through 3 of his shell companies. You never know that. So then, Vegas, forgive me, right? Because I never remember say we were the ones who told him to do all of that. And so then, we now are the ones who are trying to carry down Andrew Honest. Jamaica people, hey, want to see when, let me tell you something. Why I think he's behaving like that?
He wants an award.
because he's also building, have a project. Let me bust out in business. Let me dash out in business out the door. He's also doing a project of a lease flat. Yes, below Juliet Oles. And so because he's eating out of the trap, then he's coming out to defend them. And so then we understand why you are defending them. And having said that, you know, me just remember people. Cliff Hughes must be smiling right now. Hey, Cliff Hughes, brother Cliff Hughes, how are you doing? Cliff Hughes, you glad?
Has he moved yet? Has he moved yet from his location to the new location?
Yeah, I tell you something, Sister Pigs. He glad Andrew Wallace won. You can, you know, see where he jumped for joy. Yes, we have a winner. Because he knew very well that now he can continue to owe the taxes. So we want to see the correlation between Vegas and Big Mama and all those who are defending the Prime Minister. Right? Because they have reason to. Yeah, they have reason to. Right? They're eating out of the trap. And so then, if you bring down this corrupted empire, the persons who are getting the benefit from the corrupted empire, they will dissolve in the wind. And so then now they have to defend with their heart, soul, and mind the corruption, because they themselves are living after the corruption. They are living on the corruption. Let me just see back to Sister Sphinx.
Yeah, because I remember in COVID, right? There was a list that came out highlighting the people who gotten tax breaks, and if I remember correctly, all of those persons on the list in Montego Bay were actually supporters of the Jamaica Labour Party. So they do give their friends and their supporters this kind of support by giving them tax breaks. And I'm sure if you and I apply for a tax break, we will never get it.
Exactly.
And it's a repeated pattern over and over again, and this is why they are the supporters. Because even yesterday when I was voting, I saw a couple of them in the line, and I know they're voting for Labour because they're voting for their tax breaks for their businesses and companies.
Exactly.
Right? And you know, all the little the crumbs that they get, all the crumbs they get from the Jamaica Labour Party. So I mean, Vegas is nobody really to pay attention to. You know, remember his brain got hit by the fact that his former wife was caught. He caught his former wife committing adultery. So from that time, you know, his brain has been going. You know, so don't pay much attention because nobody really takes him seriously. We saw what happened when he tried to come out and you know, put a little boost in his popularity by, you know, challenging that pastor. And the pastor said, what? Usher him out. Usher him out. So from then, you know, he cannot reason beyond his nose. So I don't take him seriously. And he doesn't have any influence on anybody as far as I'm concerned. Because even on TikTok, nobody really pay much attention to him. You know, nobody really pay attention much to him over there. So he's trying to, I mean, you're a singer, sing us a song, make an album. Christmas is coming, do a Christmas album, Vegas. But then again, who's going to listen to you after all of this?
Well,
you understand me? I take you seriously as a musician after this.
I am one person who wouldn't buy anything that him sing about.
Exactly. Because right now, if you realize the PNP is being supported by many Jamaican musicians. Elephant Man, Cartel, Buju Banton, all of those people support the Jamaica Labour Party, the PNP. Sorry, let me correct myself. All of them support the PNP because they see positive growth in Jamaica through the PNP. And they know that we stand for integrity, and the PNP always support the musicians and the dancehall culture.
Exactly.
While Babsy Grange is over there doing what? Remember, some years ago, we were having a grand gala. I don't know if it was independence or emancipation we were celebrating. And what did Babsy Grange do? She went to DR, Dominican Republic, to get dancers. Right now, I have friends in the music business in Jamaica who used to work in the hotels, were dismissed because they're hiring Dominican Republicans to do the same work that our Jamaicans used to do in these hotel industries. I have friends who own entertainment companies. We used to have a troupe of people, fire dancers, locals that entertain into these hotels who have these contracts. All of those contracts are gone. Why? Because Babs Grange prefer the people from Dominican Republic. And if you can't understand that, Vegas, that our through Babs Grange and her government, our entertainers here are suffering. I heard from one entertainer who used to work in a hotel told me directly that since COVID, he has not worked in a hotel. We used to have a little band that play at the airport. That is gone, completely gone. The band were local entertainers. It's gone. Why? So the local entertainment industry has suffered under this government. And I yield the floor.
Thank you for that, Sister Pinks. Really appreciate right that input. Now, Jamaica, where I'm going next, right? Remember earlier I spoke about right the possibility of this Jamaica Labour Party administration going forward in our political process, right? That we are based on what is happening with the clouds, the dark clouds hanging over their heads, right? We are looking for some early by-election. It might sound away. It might sound away, people. But look here. And let me say this. The JLP now at the helm. So I want to know, going into the next election, what are they going to say as it relates to their political narrative? Are they going to say now that, okay, all right, the People's National Party was in power for 18 years and nothing happened. So now, Andrew Honest, you are a third-term prime minister. We are going to watch now as it relates to this particular 5 term, right? 5 years. Sorry, this particular 5 years, this term. If Cornwall Regional Hospital is going to be completed, we are watching with that. And we want to understand the narrative that you are going to use. Yes. We want to understand as it relates to the completion of Troy Bridge. We want to know the narrative that you are going to use, Mr. Prime Minister. We anticipating on watching you as it relates to your last call and your last promise for general election, right? Moving the minimum wage from $17,000 to $32,000. We are watching you, Prime Minister. Now, Jamaica, let me tell you this, and I want you to understand. So as it relates to that promise, he said he's going to do it over a 5-year period. Let us mark him. Let us tell you what you need to look for. He said next year, the minimum wage will move from 17,000 to 18,000 because the 32,000 is going to compact within this term. And so then by the end of, let me just bring up melting pot device not connected. Melting pot device need to, okay, because we know that melting pot. All right. Seems like you have it.
Don't put me up, Byron. Do not put me up. No.
Okay. So why you come
Just hold on. Sorry, I'm not talking to my husband.
Okay, all right. Let me just take you off.
Who was that?
That was my wife at work.
Okay.
I don't want you come to me with that foolishness, you know. You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want the right stand that stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.